of course, as I've wanted to do more things, I've had to become a little more organized to be able to do that. But it doesn't come easily to me. So I wanted to clear some energy around being prepared so that we can feel like it is doable for all of us. And we'll start with the questionation. Why am I so organized? When we do a questionation, it makes your brain think about why you are like that, even if you may not be. It looks for reasons why you could be. All right, so let's go into our heart chakra. All right, what's coming up is our relationships can be a bit unbalanced due to clinginess. And sometimes we want to cling on to people that we're comfortable with or situations that we're comfortable with, even though it might not be ideal. It's what we're used to and what we know. Cinnamon oil comes up. All right. Cinnamon also assists individuals in relationships where insecurities are shown by jealousy or control. So I guess preparedness could be seen as a way of trying to be in control, but control is not a bad thing unless we're so hooked on it that we can't let anything change if it needs to. It encourages the soul to let go of control and allow others to be free. Cinnamon can nurture strong relationships based on mutual love and respect. Where there are other insecurities covered by pretense, facade, and pride, cinnamon warms and bolsters individuals, helping them feel safe, protected, and secure enough to choose humility and risk being truly known. Cinnamon invites individuals to be honest and vulnerable, thereby allowing true intimacy to emerge. So I guess this is also a bit about vulnerability, isn't it? Allowing ourselves to be vulnerable with other people. And sometimes we might want to put the plan ahead of the people, but I think in the end, people are what it's all about, and we really want to make our plans to include people and to, get the most out of our time here on Earth. All right, I forgive myself. What is it that you have trouble forgiving yourself for? Or can be generational as well. So generational from dad's mum. A group of men. I open myself to the healing powers of love. And love is very healing, isn't it? Showing love to ourselves, showing love to our body. When our body has problems, it's like we're seeing our body as being the enemy when it has problems, but actually it's not the enemy. It's telling us where the energy is stuck so that we can help shift whatever's there to be free to move. All right, something in our back, so T8. So that's where your shoulder blades end. That's the level of your spine. All right, and what comes up in T8 is fear of failure. So we're going to plug in a chiropractic adjustment to help release that part of your spine. And I can ask. So that part of your back is reacting to your feelings. All right, and age 16 is stuck in there. So where were you? What were you doing when you were 16? Good morning, Cecile. All right, so now we're going into the earth chakra. So we're needing that connection to the ground. Luckily, it's been, even though it's getting quite cold, in the day it's been sunny. So if you can get yourself a little bit of sun and feet on the ground in the middle of the day, that's great. All right. Also feeling like sometimes we don't think we make a difference, but we actually do, even if we don't. Our influence may be only to one person, but that one person can influence other people. So it's like that one bit of whatever it is that you do, you need to do it. And even if it only influences one person, you know that that was worthwhile. All right, now we're going to go into the lunar chakra, which is above the crown chakra. All right, so what's coming up here is not the inability to understand the lessons contained in our experiences. And sometimes we can just get stuck on what happened rather than what I'm supposed to be learning in this situation. Good morning, Jenny. All right. And sometimes it is hard to understand the lessons, isn't it? Like the things that are most difficult for us, we can be so wounded by what's happened that we find it hard to see what we're supposed to be learning because we're so stuck in what actually happened. So, if there's anywhere in your body that's complaining, please let us know. If there's anyone you want to dedicate to, happy to do that as well. So, what else comes up here is meditation. So, we may not all be great at meditation, but sometimes after we pray, we can just take, 30 seconds even to wait to hear if there's anything, or once we've, opened that time, having time where, even if you're going for a walk or you're hanging the washing, often inspiration will come after we've asked the question. So being willing to hear what might be told us. And the oil spikenard comes up. So spikenard's about gratitude. Right, so Jenny's mentioned she's had a lot of allergy stuff going on, nose and eyes, and no, it's stress related. Yeah, so things getting up your nose. Good morning, Susanna. Right, so by opening, this is from Essential Emotions, by opening the soul to acceptance and gratitude, Spikenard assists individuals in seeing the deeper meaning in their lives. So I guess we're talking about that lunar chakra, being about being able to see the lessons in our experiences. So you could use the spikenard oil to help you decode the messages. And the other oil that comes up here is clove. So clove is quite a strong oil. Right, which is about boundaries. So clove assists individuals in letting go of patterns of self-betrayal and codependency by reconnecting them with their personal integrity. So I guess it comes back to honoring what we feel is important and doing what our heart is telling us to do, and being organized to actually start doing it, and trusting that even if you only affect one person, that it is worthwhile you doing that. All right, so spikenard and clove. All right, and this is also connected to our sleep. So I have a sound and rejuvenating sleep and awake refreshed and energetic. So sometimes as this chakra opens, it's about sort of understanding who we are. Sometimes we don't really understand who we are, the magnificence of who we are, who we were before we came to Earth that we're not allowed to remember, but, like redeveloping who we are and understanding who we are and seeing who we are and acting accordingly. All right, so now we're going to go into the solar plexus chakra. All right, I make all of my life choices in the interest of my highest growth and learning. And sometimes I think that's what family are there for, more to challenge us and to teach us and to help us, have higher growth and learning. But it's hard, as we said before, to see the lessons sometimes and to understand what we're supposed to learn from this horrible difficulty. All right, I'm worthy of love, kindness, and respect, regardless of what I have done. And sometimes this can be our own love, kindness, and respect. And we're here to make mistakes. That's part of the whole atonement that we knew we would make mistakes. We're allowed to make mistakes. It's how we learn and grow. And the way back is through the atonement. So it's like, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not get it perfectly right the first time. I'm able to see past my weaknesses and allow them to become my strengths. And I think that is very important. We're given weaknesses for them to be able to develop into strengths. Okay, now we're going into the solar star chakra. Adrenal fatigue is coming up. So, have we pushed ourselves past our limit, or are we just a little bit unwell underneath and the limit is a bit less than normal? Console oil, which does come up quite regularly. Console helps ease burdens, assists in experiencing a serene heart and mind, and guides individuals towards emotional rest. So, I guess if you're getting too busy in your head and you're, allowing yourself to get too stressed or things to get up your nose, you might use consolation just to help calm your farm a little. Yeah, especially when you're feeling burdened. And we can feel burdened by our many responsibilities and especially by family when we can see them not living up to their full potential. It is stressful and, we want to go and kick their butts and say, get yourself into gear, but that's not appropriate. And they have to learn that in their own time and way. But as parents or as friends or relatives of people that are struggling, it's hard to do that. Okay. All right. So the Celtic weave, the back of the body. Are you in pain there? All right. So the Celtic weave kind of keeps weaving in our energy field and repairing. All right. I repair easily from past accidents, injuries, and harm. And sometimes these are by external circumstances. Other people make mistakes or make choices that harm us, and we have to wear the brunt of this damage. And so it's like allowing our body and our mind and our energy field to repair and recover from this damage. I rise above each and every challenge. All right, so still something in the solar star chakra. Right, life is easy for me. That's, I don't think anyone says that, do they? Maybe we can allow it to become easier, so we can pray and meditate about, all right, I have these problems presented to me. What do you want me to understand? What do you want me to learn? How can I help others through this process? I exist and rejoice. So sometimes we only just feel like we're existing and we're not got to rejoicing yet. What are the small things that you can celebrate? What are the little things that did go well, or things that you might feel that you could be happy about? As I mentioned before, becoming a gym junkie, so every little bit of strength or every bit of endurance that I can improve on, I feel like that's to be celebrated. I'm not as good as everyone else, but it doesn't matter. I'm making improvements myself and having a go. And I think that's the important attitude to have about anything that we have a go at in this life, that, perfection is not the only outcome we can get. Growth and learning comes through it, and perfection is in the process of learning and becoming and understanding and growing through all these experiences. So perfection is a process that happens even after we die. It's not just all in this lifetime. Okay, so some feelings stuck in our body. All right, feelings of impatience. So what do you feel impatient about? Sometimes I can feel impatient with um, people around me, if they're taking a long time to learn their lessons, or I think they should be learning them faster, or I want them to learn them faster, but that's not what's best for them. It's being able to be patient with the unfolding of our life and other people's lives too, and trusting that things unfold in the right time for them, so that they will learn and grow too. All right. So now we're going into the galactic chakra. All right. So as this chakra opens, it can be the unveiling of our true self. So, often we're trying to be what other people want us to be or expect us to be, or maybe what we think we should be. Um, and I think it's good to, constantly try to improve. But also, turning around sometimes to see how far you climbed up the mountain, and not just thinking the mountaintop's too far away and I'm not doing a great job here. So Tai Chi can be very useful exercise to do. Uses all your joints, is very slow and methodical, uses your breathing. So it's a little bit more still movement, but fostering the inner you as well. And another oil comes up here is chia. Sometimes we need to be our own cheerleader. All right, cheer encourages individuals who are overcome by feelings of hopelessness and helplessness. It restores hope when one has been stretched beyond the limits of endurance. And sometimes we can feel that. If a problem's been going on for a long time, or we've always had this problem, it does wear us down. This blend inspires faith that life will work out for the best despite difficulties and setbacks. Cheer reminds individuals that there is so much more to life than the hardship they are experiencing, and to determinedly hold on until they regain the hope and joy they feel they've lost. So sometimes we almost have to tune into our inner child and allow ourselves to enjoy life as a child would. So you might want to use the cheer oil to help restore yourself when you felt worn down or eroded by life. It's like you can use that to restore yourself to, yes, it could work. It could be okay. All right. I ask for what I want. And sometimes we're too scared to ask for what we want. Uh, we don't believe we can have what we want or that we're worthy of it. So it's like we don't ask. So I think it's really important to ask. We don't know how that's going to manifest, but I'm sure there will be something that shifts as we ask. So life is a gift of unimaginable proportion. And sometimes we can feel that life is hard. We might be unhappy with our body, or we might be unhappy with our family, or our job, or our financial situation, or our mental situation, or our emotional situation, or our spiritual situation. And it's like seeing the good or the lessons is always the most important thing. Sometimes hard to do, and sometimes we might need help with talking to someone so that they can help us see the good when we can't see it. All right, so the 11th chakra type people, the galactic chakra, they're people that want to make a difference in this world. And, they may make a difference on a small level, which, sends ripples out on a bigger level, or they might do a bigger change in the world or bigger differences. But know that you are making a difference just by being you. All right, so now we're going into layers of the aura. So the mental layer. So leaking energy from that layer of the aura. Something from age 6 stuck in there. Now in the fourth layer, which is related to the heart chakra. So it's like the astral layer, and it's a bridge between the physical body and the spiritual world. And we could say it's like the level of love at which we're vibrating at. So stagnant energy building up there. Right, and the fifth layer, which is the spiritual layer. So it forms the grid structure on which our body grows. So if there's an issue here, you might have trouble following through on what you want to do. The feeling that's stuck in that layer is taken for granted. So sometimes that can happen in families. They can take us for granted, and maybe they don't understand how we feel, or that we're not okay sometimes with what they're doing, or Yeah, it's hard to have that conversation at times because we don't want to undermine their confidence or their ability to keep trying. But, it can be very hard for us to watch the difficulties that are there. Times people can latch onto our energy in an unhealthy way. So people can hook into our energy. So females from the past, age 16, age 26. So our vibration. All right, so the level of courage. So this is the level of empowerment. So below that, uh, you're usually taking energy from those around you, but at this level, you don't need to be tossed to and fro by external conditions. This empowerment leads you to the realization that you are a steward unto yourself and that you are alone or in charge of your own growth and success. This is what makes you inherently human. The realization that there is a gap between stimulus and response, and that you have the potential to choose how to respond. And sometimes it is hard because we would respond in a certain way, and it is almost like, when you bowl the bowling ball and it goes in the gutter. So sometimes we can feel like as soon as someone does a certain behavior, the bowling ball goes down the gutter and we can't get out of the gutter. All right, so 12th chakra, which is the universal chakra. Another oil comes up, so peace oil. Could all do with a bit of peace, couldn't we? All right, so peace oil is about reassurance. So this blend was formulated to assist individuals who lack inner peace. People thrive when they feel connected to the divine. Souls achieve true and lasting peace through connection to this source. Without this true peace, there is a human tendency to try and to manufacture peace by controlling one's environment and relationships, especially when one feels afraid. It is tempting to try to control others because it gives an artificial sense of order and safety. All right, so we might use feel spiritually connected. And we're talking about today about being organized. So it's like we want to organize other people, but I think it comes back to organizing ourselves and doing what is right for us and honoring ourselves, honoring our body, honoring our commitment. Good morning, Elizabeth. She said, I'll get all these oils out to use. Yeah. All right. Uh, so this is again from Essential Emotions. It reminds individuals that only by connecting to the divine will they cultivate lasting peace. And I think we all need to feel that peace despite the things that are going on around us, especially in the world at this time. Very scary, lots of things that are happening, a lot of evil contriving against us. So it's like we have to be the light and we have to be connected to the light and feel that there is unending power from the light and that we will be guided and that we know in the end the light wins. So it's like choosing to be in the light even when things seem dark. And another oil that comes up here is clary sage. All right, clary sage assists in opening creative channels and clearing creative blocks. It eliminates distractions from the mind and assists individuals in finding a state of emptiness where creative forces may be realized. Opening individuals to the dream world, clary sage increases the ability to visualize and imagine new possibilities. All right, clary sage teaches the spirit how to use its divinely given gifts and is especially helpful in clarifying spiritual vision. It assists in in developing the gift of discernment. Clary sage invites individuals to expand their vision and accept the reality of the spiritual world. So, helping us to be more open minded about paths to take or about seeing the beauty in our problems rather than just the difficulty. And also to help you be spiritually discerning. So, as we're inspired to see things or understand the meaning of different things, we can use any situation to grow by. All right, so radiant circuits, so it's like our inner mum. She'll do whatever it takes to help us. So our own inner mum sometimes can blow a fuse. I live within my healthy limits. So sometimes our radiant circuits can blow if we're living our life past our limits. And, we all do have some limits, and we can be guided spiritually how to work with our limits and within our limits, and trust that other people will be given around us to help us to do what needs to be done, even if we don't feel like we have the capacity to do it ourselves. All right. I am open to receiving light and knowledge. This is in the universal chakra. And I guess as that chakra opens, we can become more open to divine inspiration and live our life a little bit more on that higher level, seeing past our possessions and, this earth life, seeing the bigger picture. And I guess as we transcend the difficulties, we do teach other people to do that by our example. And we might have moments of it and moments of not, but, whatever we can try that, congratulate yourself that you're having a go and that you've prepared some small thing that this next great thing can happen. So each little block of preparation that you do in your life opens up freedom for your mind to meditate and to have quiet time, because if things are in order in the background, there is time for that. Okay. Now, any other parts of people's bodies that are complaining, or parts of energy field or in their mind? Anything else that you feel that you'd like to talk about this morning or would like help with? And thank you to those that are on the call. It makes such a difference to me. So thank you. I know it's very cold in the morning and it's early and it's hard to get out of bed. All right, just by way of announcement. So we do have an advanced energy work in July. Just get out my little calendar here. So the 11th, 12th, and 13th of July. And also we have a basic course in August. So if you know anyone that you think might be interested in learning how to clear energy, please put them in contact with me. We'd love to have other people to learn, because I think it's wonderful to be able to have the tool of energy clearing, when you get stuck, or when family members get struck, or when things happen in life and we can't see the bigger picture. It's helpful to do energy clearing to understand, because sometimes it's not even our stuff, it's generational baggage or things that have happened in our childhood perhaps. But thank you for that. All right. So hope you have a great day. Look forward to seeing you. We have our next get-together on the 22nd of June if you're interested in coming. And I think that's the shortest day of the year, isn't it? Anyway, thank you, and sending love out to you and hoping that you can be your best self and get organised. Okay, see ya.